Today's review is From Beyond. This Blu-ray combo pack here is a Scream Factory release that they put out last year, which is an excellent release, by the way, excellent restoration to a movie that demands such a care put into its home viewing format. Like it is such a visually interesting movie, and so colorful, so vibrant, with so many great and elaborate special effects. This, of course, is brought from the same team that brought us Re-Animator. So you got Stuart Gordon writing and directing, and Jeffrey Combs in the lead role. And it's inspired by an H.P. Lovecraft tale. So you have all the elements that where you could safely say that if you like Re-Animator, you'll like From Beyond, and that's absolutely true. And I will say I like Re-Animator better because like that's such a hard movie to top. It's so cool, so awesome. But I'd say that this movie is a much more ambitious movie in terms of the special effects. Like there are really elaborate effects. I'd just about compare it to John Carpenter's The Thing in terms of how many practical effects are used and how great they are accomplished in the movie. Like it's really just incredible watching some of the things that they are able to pull off. And really, I mean, it is an interesting concept to the movie. Like, what if in our world there is another kind of dimensionary plane of existence that is around us all the time, but we just simply can't perceive through our normal human capabilities, basically. And it's up to this scientist played by Jeffrey Combs to kind of work on his experiment and kind of the bad mistake that is, and all the horrible things that happen in the wake of that. Also in the movie, really great, you have Ken, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth for Re, and the lovely and alluring Barbara Crampton. Very good cast in this movie. I think they have a lot of good chemistry together, especially as, the situation with the experiment becomes all the more dangerous, all the more severe. So I think there's good chemistry with the cast. And just really, I mean, obviously the main appeal is the visuals, but it does have an interesting story because this is like, sci-fi horror. So it's a very different kind of territory than what we've had in Re-Animator. I would say, I would argue, and even though it's, I would say again, Re-Animator better movie. This is just awe-inspiring with the use of visual effects, with so much care. Like, I mean, look at the cover. I mean, that's kind of what you can expect from this movie. So practical effects, even like optical effects too in some scenes. So I mean, it's just so very, very impressive what they're able to achieve, almost like the pinnacle of this kind of workmanship, which you just don't see anymore. I say this all the time, but it's true. They just don't make them like they used to in the 80s. These types of horror movies, and this, in at least in that respect, is a masterwork. So definitely well worth picking up the Blu-ray for, to enjoy it in all its glory. And it is a very interesting movie from its concept, and I think it follows through on that concept very effectively. It is able to be scary. It is able to kind of achieve a more kind of provocative storyline and kind of make you think about, what is this kind of plane of existence that we're living on, and what if there is something around us that we just can't perceive, and would we want to perceive it, or is it better to be blind to that, and what are the risks that come with it? There are quite a few risks that come with it in this movie, and as with these science run amok types of movies, characters pay the ultimate price for that. So it is almost like, almost, again, I feel like I'm comparing it too much to other movies, but almost like in a very kind of broad way, in a similar vein as Cronenberg's The Fly, where you could take kind of like a concept that they'd have in the 50s, like the science gone awry stuff, the mad scientist kind of stuff, but bring a legitimacy towards it. And I think that's what From Beyond does, and it does it in a very entertaining way and thrilling way. So I think this is a really spectacular film. Goes great hand in hand with Re-Animator, because it is a pretty cool team. Stuart Gordon, Jeffrey Combs. You can't go wrong with that combination. So I think it's very well made. I really love this movie, and it's definitely worth watching during Halloween time. Give you a good scare, and just knocks your socks off with the visuals. So very much recommend that. Checking that out if you haven't seen that movie. So that's my review, From Beyond. Thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos on 31 Days of Horror on my channel. Until then, stay tuned for more.